Martin Pugsley.
Tim Lewis.
Well, I always loved cars as a child, you know, very young. I suppose it started, Dad was a chauffeur and he used to bring home, you know, Rolls Royces, Phantom 5s, Bentleys, Jaguars. And it was always going to be cars, you know, went and washed the cars down at the garage where he was. And then eventually got a job at RS Williams down in the railway arches in Brixton.
Got taken to Brands Hatch when two by my parents, and that flicked a switch in me into being a car lover, and all sorts of cars really. And when I was teenage and young, I loved hot rods and custom cars, the creative side of cars, as well as racing cars. And then I worked in engine reconditioning shop. I had a lot of holiday jobs when I was at school, and washing cars and all sorts of stuff like that. And I ended up, a neighbour told me about RS Williams in Brixton, which is where me and Martin met, and how we met. And he said, you should work down there in the summer holiday. So I went down there, and I did. I worked down there. Richard took me on, and well, that's how I got into Aston Martins. And the hot rod and custom car thing kind of died away, and I was more into classic cars and Astons. That happened in 1989. For me, it comes from driving. I love driving old cars. I've got quite a collection of old cars, Astons, Jags, Alfa Romeos, an old Ferrari, several things, and I'm always at them. It's actually using the cars and enjoying that, and picking up any little things that can be improved upon, I love, and then writing them all down and working through that list of what can make them nicer. So we try and make cars as good as they can drive. Not just drive, but the way they work in all aspects. Because it is a passion, that it's not just something to look at.
When a car arrives here, especially if it's a car we haven't seen before, you know, all cars are road tested, assessed. The list is made of jobs that we think that ought to be done and faults that we find with the car, and then report back to the customer and give him his list, listen to him, what he wants, and then, you know, put a plan together. A, B and C this year. You know, that happens quite a lot. Most people that come and work here or want to work here end up wanting to stay here because it's, well, I think it's the best place in the world to work.
We've been working on these cars since, some of them, you know, Martin since 75, me since about 80. So we know all the original finishes all over the car. What is original and what's not original is a really important thing.
Well, my favourite was Project 212. Because that's, you know, when I was young, we used to look after it, we used to go racing, and I don't know, it's got something in, you know, something in me that I always loved Project 212.
DB4, definitely. And I think of 1980 V8 Vantage as well. I love the black crackle dash, the whole Vantage look, the dam at the back and the spoiler.